This video is brought to you by bossrootin.com with big sales on now, and powerperformanceproducts.com where you can receive $10 off your purchase of Body Storm and Body Effects, the best pre-workout supplements on the market.
This is Spencer Lazar, MMAinterviews.tv, alongside Vinny Magalhaes. You got a fight coming up October 14th, defending your belt in M-1, Phoenix, Arizona, against Magalhaes. So, how excited are you to get back in there, defend your title for the first time?
Definitely excited. You know, there's a story actually behind like me and this guy. I had a week of a seminar in Russia, and he was one of the guys that was attending the seminar. And that was in September of last year when I was just like recovering from my knee surgery. And you know, like he's a sambo guy. He's actually like a sambo world champion, and he was like, you know, I don't know if that works. So kind of questioning my technique. So like even though it was not like allowed from the doctor to train, I just had to show him that that it worked. So I already had an experience with them, and that's the thing. We're just training. You know, I got him a couple of times, but it was just training. But now I want to make it like I want to go for real. Like if I have to catch him like in an arm bar or like on a choke, I just want to either put him to sleep or like snap his arm.
What was he questioning? He was questioning your grappling, or?
It wasn't really like my credentials or anything like that. It's just like I was showing moves that that I usually do in turns. So it's not always showing like some dumb stuff just to like whatever sell. I was just showing moves that I actually do in competition, and he just seemed like to me not being interested like on learning. Like he was just like, I don't know if that would work. So it's like, even if he thought he didn't work, he shouldn't be like acting that way. Like everybody else was like acting fine. Like if they liked it or not, nobody was saying anything. So a lot of guys that came up to me and they said like, yeah, you liked your stuff. Some of them were already like using training. But he was the only one who had like a little attitude, so it's like for me it's going to be like actually really good to fight him.
Gives you some added motivation there to crush him?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Again, as I said, like preferably I'm going to try to catch him in a move that I actually showed in the seminar too. That would be even better.
So what's your game plan? Do you want to take? He's obviously pretty decent on the ground. He's a sambo guy. Do you feel like you have an advantage in the stand-up and on the ground?
Like I'll be honest, not being cocky or not being like overconfident, but like I feel like I have an advantage on the ground over like a bunch of like guys in MMA. So it's like, of course I'm gonna try to take the fight to the ground, but the fight starts standing. So like I'm gonna focus like my stand-up training with Mark Beecher, but I'm gonna try to take the fight wherever it goes. Like my last fight on Showtime, like I knocked the guy down, ended up winning by ground and pound. So it's like, and now I just want to get a win. I don't care like how it's gonna go, if it's by a submission or by a TKO. But as I say, against this guy, preferably a submission.
What does your contract say? And obviously the goal for you would be to get back in the UFC.
That's a good question, actually, if that's a question. Because like I can't be saying that my goal is to go back to the UFC. My goal is to finish my contract with like like winning all my fights that I have left. When it's time to like either renew or like go somewhere else, that's something that I have to talk to M1, like see if they can give me like a good deal. If not, of course, like if it's not M1 to renew with a better deal, like of course the goal is going to be UFC, since there's nothing else around. I don't see like me going to Bellator. I have friends that fight for Bellator. I'm not saying bad things. I just don't like the contract, not for myself. I don't know like how long Strikeforce is going to be around, so likely it won't be around by the next year. So there's no option. For me, it's either renew with M1 or go to the UFC, and that's going to be depending like what M1 is going to have to offer me by the end of my contract. But UFC, it's always like it's always a dream for like any fighter.
What are your final words to your opponent, and tell him what move you think you're going to catch him in that he questioned? That's like I'm not like a guy who likes to talk a lot, being like talking smack like about anybody, but like, as I said, like he didn't respect me, so like hopefully I'm gonna get him like go platter, which is gonna be my second one in a row, and that's a move that I showed in the seminar, and that was one of the moves that he was kind of like that doesn't work. And I got a guy from his camp, so the last guy was also from his camp, so I hope I'm gonna get him in a go platter too. Then he's gonna have to respect my game. Okay. There you have it, Vinny Magalhaes. I'm Spencer Lazar, MMAinterviews.tv. Look for his fight on Showtime.
Godspeed and party on.